Today, we'll be dealing with a fundamental question. I said Birchas Hamazon is min haTorah. What part of Birchas Hamazon is min haTorah? So we have 4 brachas in Birchas Hamazon. Hazanas HaKoil, Ala Oras Vel Hamazon, Uvnei Yerushalayim, and then bracha number 4, which Kuli Alma is Midrabanon. So what part of Birchas Hamazon is min haTorah? Nechlaku Rabbeinu Harishonim. Toisus opinion, brachas Tezayin Amud Aleph, seems to be Gimel brachas min haTorah. Because when the Gemara says that a poil sheyoisik b'malachto, he only says 2 brachas, and he is koil b'nei Yerushalayim in Birchas Ha'aretz. That is because yesh koyach biad chachumim lakor dova min haTorah b'sheva al ta'isa. So if Toisus defines this as akiras dova min haTorah, obviously Gimel brachas are min haTorah. So that's Toisus brachas Tezayin Amud Aleph. And the Magen Avraham Semakuf Tzadik Dalet Siv Gotten Gimel writes, that is the Shitta of the Rif. So some of the great Rishonim maintain Gimel brachas min haTorah. Rashi, in that very same sugya, in brachas Tezayin, Rashi says Koilal b'nei Yerushalayim in Birchas Ha'aretz because inyan echod hen. When we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Eretz Yisrael, alo Oretz v'al Hamazon, and that's based on the basic posuk. V'yochalta v'savato uvarachto Hashem l'kecho alo Oretz ha'toiva. So we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for giving us Eretz Yisrael. Yerushalayim is part of it. So expressing gratitude and idoy to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Eretz Yisrael Yerushalayim is the same idea. So Rashi writes that is why koilol b'nei Yerushalayim beBirchas Ha'aretz. So the Magen Avraham in other Magen Avraham Kuf Tzadik Aleph Siv Koten Aleph proves from Rashi that min haTorah 2 brachas, because b'nei Yerushalayim and Birchas Ha'aretz do not necessarily need to be 2 different brachas. They are 1 bracha essentially. So Rashi and many Rishonim follow in the footsteps of Rashi. 2 brachas min haTorah. Hazanas HaKoil, and that is thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for our sustenance, for our livelihood, and then Birchas Ha'aretz, which includes thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Yerushalayim Mir HaKodesh. The Ramban in his Asagas and the Rambam Shoresh Aleph and Sefer HaMitzvos. Sefer HaMitzvos, as you all probably know, and this is just an interesting comment. It's the only Sefer I know in which the Hagdome is much bigger than the Sefer in itself. So the Rambam wrote Hagdome to Sefer HaMitzvos. Sefer HaMitzvos, he briefly discusses all the Taryag mitzvahs. But as an introduction to Sefer HaMitzvos, the Rambam wrote Yudalet Shroshim. And the Shroshim are far bigger than the Gufa Sefer. And in Shoresh Aleph, the Ramban writes that the mitzvah of Birchas Hamazon min haTorah is Kol echod ve'echod lefi tzachus l'shoinoi. So the Kesef Mishnah Perik Beis Halacha Aleph. I will apologize 1 moment. I just want to take a Rambam out, so I need to stand up for 1 second. So the Kesef Mishnah at the beginning of Perik Beis in Hilchos Brachos, Kesef Mishnah quotes the Ramban. And the reason I wanted to check it out is I want to quote the Lashon, the exact Lashon of the Ramban. So the Rambam starts off Perik Beis, and this is the Perik in which the Rambam teaches us the din of Birchas Hamazon. Say the Birchas Hamazon kachu, but the Rambam doesn't give us an inkling what would be min haTorah, what would not be min haTorah. But the Kesef Mishnah quotes the Ramban, she'ein madbeya leBirchas Hamazon min haTorah. Avan etztaveinu min haTorah levorach achar achiluseinu kol echod kefi da'atoi. So kol echod lefi da'atoi, according to the Kesef Mishnah, proves that according to the Ramban, min haTorah, we need to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzorech levorech es HaKadosh Baruch Hu kol echad v'yechad lefi datais. According to the Kesef Mishnah, the Ramban's opinion is one bracha is min ha-Torah. The Rambam, Sefer HaMitzvos, mitzvahs say Yud Tes, not in Mishnah Torah, but in Sefer HaMitzvos uses a very similar language. Levorcha yis'ala achar kol achila. So the Kesef Mishnah also wants to be medayek from the Rambam, similar to the Ramban, that the mitzvah min Torah is just to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. One bracha, not more. The Lechem Mishnah argues that the Rambam in Sefer HaMitzvos usually just gives us a brief description of the essence of the mitzvah, the mohus of the mitzvah, without going into details, and therefore we cannot learn from the lashon of the Rambam that min Torah bebrocha achas sagi. No, that is not necessarily the case. And I agree with the Lechem Mishnah. There's a difference between Sefer HaMitzvos and other sources of the Rambam, because Sefer HaMitzvos clearly, explicitly, isn't teaching halachas. And usually, even the Hagdoros are, in Sefer HaMitzvos, the Rambam just gives us a brief description. And he usually does bring some halachas. So basically, there are three different drochim, three different opinions, but everybody agrees that Birchas Hamazon is the Oraisa. Menayin leberchas hamazon min ha-Torah. That's the Gemara in Brachas daf mem ches amid beis shenema v'yachalta v'savotu v'rachbo Hashem Elokecha. Now there is a difference between Birchas Hamazon the Oraisa and Birchas Hamazon the Rabbanon. Birchas Hamazon the Oraisa is only if he ate kedei svia. V'yachalta v'savotu uverachto. If he didn't eat kedei svia, then Birchas Hamazon would not be min ha-Torah. And Chachamim were metakan ad kezayis v'ad kebeitza. That's a machlokes tanoim. The halacha is, if you ate a kezayis, you need to say Birchas Hamazon. So Birchas Hamazon is the Oraisa, but there definitely is Birchas Hamazon the Rabbanon. Birchas Hamazon the Rabbanon would be when you eat a kezayis. So obviously, here Birchas Hamazon the Oraisa is if you eat pas kedei svia. In the modern world, people don't eat that much bread. And I'm not talking about this new trend that people, for health reasons, eat very little bread. But even people that aren't really very thoroughly versed about nutrition, but this is the age of abundance. It's the age of plenty. So most people just wash, you take a bite, you eat some bread, and then you have first course and second course, and then you have dessert and so much to eat. It is very common that people don't even eat a kezayis pas. And then Birchas Hamazon is a brocha levatola. So it's very important to be careful about this. When you wash, first thing, before you touch food, eat a kezayis. And what is equally important, eat a kezayis toch kedei achilas pras. Because even if you do eat a kezayis, but if it wasn't toch kedei achilas pras, according to most poskim, and this is a discussion I doubt we'll get in today, but according to most poskim, if you didn't eat a kezayis toch kedei achilas pras, then you can't say Birchas Hamazon, even midrabanan, and it's a brocha levatona. So I strongly suggest you should adopt a minig. Whenever you wash to a suda, number one, before partaking of forshpais, of any food, first eat a kezayis pas. And it should be torchad achilas pas. What's the shir of torchad achilas pas? Regarding Yom Kippur, our minig is the Chumer of the Chsam Sofer and Chuvas Chelik Vav Semachav Gimel, 9 minutes. But that's the Chumra. Chole sheyesh v'sakona that needs to eat l'shiyurim should wait between one kasevis and the other kasevis 9 minutes. Lekula, that's too much of a shear. Lekula or lechumra, on the other hand, if we want to eat the kazayis, to enable us to say Birchas Hamazon, at least mid'Rabbanan, you need to eat the kazayis pas in the time span of 2 minutes, maximum 4 minutes. So my eitzah is, and this is extremely important, because if you think about it, you will realize this is extremely common. Many people wash, take a piece of bread, you take a bite, and you start eating. And then when you say Birchas Hamazon, it's a bracha levatana. So Birchas Hamazon, the Oraisa necessitates kedei svia min hapas. Birchas Hamazon derabanan, it is enough to eat a kazayis, but you need to eat the kazayis toich kedei achilas pas. So it's a minig toiv. Sit down, you wash, eat the kazayis immediately, first thing. Usually, if all you eat will be bread, in 2 minutes you eat more than a kazayis. To eat a kazayis takes a half a minute, takes 40 seconds. But I think it's something to be careful about and just to be aware about, because many people, when they say Birchas Hamazon, they might say Birchas Hamazon with a gevaldige kavana, as good at the parnasa. But if it's a brocha levatol, I doubt it'll be very much of as good for parnasa. So this is just a suggestion. It's a very simple suggestion. Eat a kazayis pas, eat a toich kedei achilas pas, and lest you forget, just make it a custom, make it a minig. Whenever you wash to a suda, number one, you eat the kazayis pas the first thing before touching anything else. So we said there are 3 different opinions. What is Birchas Hamazon min haTorah? The Ramban, and maybe the Rambam is well maintained. Min haTorah, Birchas Hamazon must be a brocha, because that is what the pasuk says. Ve'ochalto v'savato u'berachto. But one brocha is enough. What should that brocha include? Thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Hamazon and for the land. Some Rishonim, based on Rashi, say 2 brochas on min haTorah. Some Rishonim, based on Toises, brochas, Tezayin Amud Aleph, Gimel brochas min haTorah. Brocha number 4, the Kuli Alma, is only mid'Rabbanan.